want to get over to our special guest this morning from the Red Cross. And this is an urgent push they have right now for more volunteers, more emergency response volunteers. We have the lead disaster action team coordinator, John Lazzetti, standing by this morning, who's been serving a long time with the Red Cross. Good morning, John.
Well, good morning.
We have to talk about this, this need that you're in, and you said that earlier when we talked a few minutes ago that this has been something that has been building, that you need more emergency disaster response volunteers. What do you think is contributing to, the decline?
I'm not really sure what's contributing to the decline. I don't think the word's out there, personally, on what the American Red Cross does on a day to day basis with the disaster action team. Excuse me. People do see the American Red Cross deploying across the country and doing all sorts of relief efforts that way, but they don't understand that we respond every single day to home fires, apartment fires, any kind of a natural event that occurs here in Central Florida. We have to cover three counties: Osceola, Orange, and Seminole County. We're covering about 10 calls a week out here. So if you do a 24, if you're looking at 24-hour shifts per day, we don't have enough people to cover that many fires or that much tragedy. So we really have a dire need to get some disaster action team responders onto the American Red Cross for our day-to-day operations, not necessarily our national operations.
And so, what kind of commitment are you looking for? Who is eligible to sign up to be a part of the disaster action response team?
Anybody that's over the age of 18, though we do have youth programs to get them into the queue. Anybody over the age of 18 is eligible to join the DAT team. We have about 6 online classes you have to take, plus you have to go on 3 responses and get a supervisory recommendation. It is probably the most um, difficult area of the Red Cross to get into as far as qualifications go, for the most qualifications to get out there on the road. So it requires a lot.
So, if you're volunteering, and you've completed the classes, like you said, you have to go through the online classes and then go out on a few, I guess, like you said, shadow calls where you're sort of seeing what it's like.
Correct.
What happens when you go full time, into it? Like, what's the hourly commitment or monthly commitment? And, what would that look like? You would get a phone call like, hey, there's a fire at this apartment
Right.
complex and this is the address, go there. Like, what would you have in your supply bag? What happens? What's that look like?
What we what we do is, an incident would occur. Let's say in Orlando. Let's say a single family house fire. Okay, the fire department at that time would talk to the homeowner or renter and see if they require Red Cross assistance. At that time, the fire department will notify national headquarters. National headquarters will then call down to the Central Florida region, and our duty officer will look at the schedule and see who's on shift, and will dispatch those responders to that fire call. They always go in pairs, so we never send somebody out by themselves. It requires 24 hours a month. We run 6 hour shifts, so it's pretty easy to do. It's not asking a lot. We have our disaster action team meeting once a month, which is where everybody gets together. We kind of sit around as a family and we talk about the experiences that we have, because you have to remember something. We're going there to help these people, and a lot of times when we get on scene, there might have been a fatality, such as there was a couple of weeks ago in Altamont Springs. So
Mm-hmm.
we're dealing with a very sensitive situation
Mm-hmm.
on many of these calls. We also
And
have our disaster spiritual care, our health services, and our mental health people on standby to continue helping these clients after the fire.
and so, how can you figure out if this is right for you or if you think this might be a good fit?
Well, the best thing to do actually is apply for the American Red Cross at any of your search engines. Type in American Red Cross, and I guarantee you somewhere in there is going to say you want to volunteer. Okay, and you put your application in that way, and then you come in, and you can come in as an observer, is what they call it. But you have to be a member of the Red Cross to be an observer. So you can come in as an observer and go on a couple of calls and say, this is something I really want to do, or because the DAT team is the one that can really expose you to the rest of the Red Cross, you might say, hey, look, I want to go into sheltering, or maybe I should go over into the home fire campaign. So it's probably the best sleeping board that we have in the Red Cross to get to other areas. So if you do want to get on a deployment team, you can actually get on a deployment team and travel to California atmospheric rivers, Oklahoma tornadoes. So,
Wow. So there's a wide variety there. It's wide open. And so
oh yeah,
do you
it's not boring.
do you have a story about how you came into the Red Cross, and you've been there, and now you're the lead coordinator, so you've been there a while.
I'll give you a quick one, yeah, and it's pretty interesting. I'm retired military. Okay, great. Retired, got a job. Great. Retired. Great. What do? You can only golf so much, ride horses so much, ride motorcycles so much. But I do remember when I was traveling around the world in my other job that, hey, these guys in these Red Cross vests are going to these disasters. So I was sitting in my RV one day and I applied online and I got accepted to the Red Cross. And I found out about this thing called the DAT, whatever a DAT was. To me, it was Greek. And no, it's something we respond every day to this, and this. So my mentor, I won't mention her name, Mentha Anton, God bless her. She pulled me under a ring and she gave me that bag you were talking about earlier that we take with us. We bring comfort kits with us, which consists of toiletries to help the individual, get cleaned up after the fire. We bring toys for the kids. And so that's how I got involved. And I had no idea that team was here, but to be able to go out often and help people at the worst point of their time with a fire or something, I did
Hmm.
not know that existed. And most people in Central Florida does not know that the DAT does exist. So we're here to help everybody in Central Florida through our responses. So that's how I got in.
Thank you for your service, and thank you for your continued service. I know that when we talk about these stories, these tragedies every day on the news, and many times we'll say the Red Cross is assisting the victims, the Red Cross is assisting the families. You guys are the ones we're talking about.
We are the guys you're talking about. When you see the Red Cross has been notified, the Red Cross is on scene. And you have to remember, we're not just talking about single family fires here. We're talking about large apartment fires and in today's society where apartments are very, very hard to get, it's a system where we have to find out how many people are impacted. And of course, our job is to provide, the comfort. So we have to think about opening a shelter maybe in that situation, providing food and comfort and necessities until the folks that were impacted can go ahead and recover.
And a lot of times, like you said, they'll ask those who've been impacted, do you need the Red Cross? And it sounds like if you don't know what you need, or you don't have anything, it sounds like you need the Red Cross.
Um, we we would prefer that we get a call and determine that or not, because a lot of times a client that has been affected by a fire will not be in the proper mind to make
Right.
decisions. They know they want to go to grandma's house. That's it. Okay. All they know, they just lost everything. They want to go to grandma's
Yeah.
house. They're going to stay at grandma with their friends. Um, we will go ahead and start the assistance. We will talk to them later on and say, hey, do you really? Can we help you guys out? So
Yeah. Because at that point, you just don't even know left from right. You don't know up from
no,
down. Everything is just upside down.
it's like I said, we're going in on a call that we have no idea. It might be We might be called into a grease fire where it turns out that there's 8 apartments affected now because they had to shut out the power. So now, because of the housing situation in Florida, you can have 2 people in an apartment, and believe it or not, you can have up to 15 to 20 people in an apartment
Hmm.
because of the situation that we're in as
And
far
then
as
all
housing
those
goes.
units impacted because
And
of
all
the
those units are
subsequent.
impacted.
Hmm.
You got it. So it's just a steamroller effect. So we have to pivot pretty quick. So
Hmm.
like I said, we're the first ones there. So we have to make that decision. Where do we go from here? Do we provide individual assistance? Do we provide mass care assistance? So we have to make the
Hmm.
the on scene supervisor has to make that determination whether or not to escalate the case or not. Most of the time, we do not have to escalate the case. We have the capabilities to handle it here.
Well, it sounds like it is amazingly rewarding. And when I think about you, like you said, 6 hour shifts, and that's, you said basically that's 4 shifts a month,
It's four
ideally.
shifts a month. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And
four
so
shifts a month. Yeah.
that could pretty much anyone could fit that in. But what if you say like, I don't
Yeah.
know if I could handle it. I don't know if I could handle the
Um,
intensity of the emergency or the disaster. What do you say to
that
that?
does happen. That does happen, and I will usually talk to that person and understand what they're doing, and we will find another place in the Red Cross where we've had people join the team because they've lost a family member or a friend in a fire before, and then
Mm-hmm.
when they get on scene, they realize this is a little intense for
It's
me,
too
you know.
heavy. Mm-hmm.
So we take them to the side and
Mm-hmm.
we remove them and we talk to them and try to get them involved someplace else in the Red Cross.
Right, right. Because there's so many ways to help. And so, what if you don't have the hours right now to dedicate? What are ways that people can give, and how can they know it's going to where they want to support?
The biggest thing I can say right now is our home fire campaign. That's our smoke alarm installation that we do in conjunction with the local fire departments. We go out on usually it's on Saturdays. It's not my forte, mind you, but I kind of know what's going on over there. They go out every Saturday with the fire department and they install smoke alarms into smoke detectors into people's homes. So that's a very good way to get started on it. Another thing is mass care sheltering is a very quick way to get in the Red Cross. Where if we have an event here, you would participate in opening up a shelter, putting in like 100 cots and getting it ready to receive clients, things like that.
So you can help out periodically.
Oh yeah, well, like myself, I am just not the disaster action team coordinator. I'm also the DA field supervisor for Central Florida during a major disaster. I helped run 18 counties on that one, and then I also drive the emergency response vehicle, the ERV, which is that big truck you see with the American Red Cross on it. So we all have that is the perfect jumping board to go
Yeah.
someplace else in the Red Cross. You'll see us talk when we have our dinners on our monthly meetings. We sit and we talk. We're a family. We've been through it. I mean, if you're a brand new person, you're hearing these stories, and you're going, "Whoa!" And then a month later, you're going, "Whoa!" You're telling your stories. So,
Well, I think, we're running low on time, but I want to have you back on to talk about some more, and maybe we can invite some friends too. But of course, gifts are always tax deductible as well, and you can direct those to the Red
correct.
Cross and different branches of the Red Cross. John, thank you so much. We also have a QR code people can scan as well. We'll put that up, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I hope to have you on again soon.
Thank you, Bridget. We'd love to. Okay, talk to you soon.
All right, take care. Be safe.
Bye bye.